Anti-Semitic acts in France nearly quadrupled in 2023 compared with the previous year, reflecting a surge in discrimination since the October 7th attacks by Hamas on Israel. The Council of Jewish Institutions in France says there were 1,676 anti-Semitic acts in 2023 compared to 436 the year prior. Joining us now from Paris is the Executive Director of the Council of Jewish Institutions in France, Robert Ejnes.
Good morning.
Good morning, Robert. According to CRIF, nearly 60% of these anti-Semitic acts were attacks involving physical violence, threatening words, or gestures. Tell us more about this.
Correct. We have the numbers are very bad this year, and especially since October 7th, where the number of anti-Semitic acts have multiplied by 10 compared to the same period of last year. The essential part of the anti-Semitic act is acts against people, not against doors, not against the apartments, not against the buildings, but against people. It may be threats, it may be attacks, it may be insults. So, the direction it's taking is not good at all for anti-Semitism in France.
Now, these reports show that nearly 13% of the anti-Semitic acts last year took place in schools, most of them in junior high schools. It's very worrisome for children and teenagers to be engaged in such hateful acts.
Yes, and we've seen from October 8 was a Sunday, October 9, we saw the first attacks against children in schools from their fellows. And this also is something new we've not known before.
Mm-hmm. What about universities?
Universities worse than schools. Universities were used to have it. We had a recent survey that showed that 91% of Jewish students in France have been either insulted or have been victims of anti-Semitic attacks from their fellow students in their universities.
And we see in the report that they say schools are no longer a sanctuary of the Republic. And that's very, very worrisome. Right. And we know in America there have been, in the United States, there have been many reports and cases of anti-Semitic acts on campuses. And now you're saying about universities in France as well. We know that this report only reflects the anti-Semitic attacks which were reported about to the police. Surely there are many other cases which were not reported about.
I was going to mention it. This is only the ones that we, as the Service de Protection de la Communauté Juive, which is the internal service, is setting with the Ministry of Interior. So it only reports the number of acts which have been reported to the police. We estimate that about 80% are not reported, and this also is shown by surveys we've produced in the past. And why are people not reporting? For two main reasons. The first one is they believe it doesn't serve any purpose because the aggressors will never go to justice. That's one. And second, for private home attacks, it's people who know they're attackers and do not want to worsen their situation by reporting a threat that they have been victim of at the police station.
Right. So the numbers are not even, probably are a lot higher. Yes. Now,
and these are the numbers without the social media.
Mm-hmm. France is home to Europe's largest Jewish community. It's also home to the largest number of Muslims on the continent. How do these two communities live side by side day to day? Is there a lot of friction or tension?
They used to live well, basically until October 6th, at least at the head of the communities. We used to have normal relationship with the people who are managing the Muslim communities, even though we knew there was a large distance between the head of the community and the bases. But now it's much more difficult, and we almost have no relationship with the Muslim leaders in France. And of course we regret it, but their position, the position they have taken on the attack of Hamas on Israel, do not make it possible for the moment that we resume our relationship. Now, in what is called since the years 2000, the first rise of anti-Semitism in France, we have the lost suburbs of the Republic, the lost territories of the Republic. That was the title of a book that was published in 2002, 2003, and showed that Jewish children could not go in a public school in some regions, some areas in France. And this has not been better since 2000, and there are territories where Jews do not go in public schools. They have to go to private schools to be in security.
Mm-hmm. Now, briefly, just can you tell me your assessment? Should we be seeing a larger immigration from France to Israel because of this?
French Jews are worried, and they're thinking. We have a lot of people who are thinking of moving to Israel. I don't know what the numbers will be in the coming years.
Thank you very much, Robert Ejnes. Thank you.